in week three's assignment, we're essentially going to repeat some of the things we did in week two, except now we have new companies. And in the announcement for this week's activities, I provide you with, I think it's 5 companies for you to pick from. And the reason I do this is students will sometimes pick companies that just don't fit easy analysis, if you will. So the companies I have here are popular companies. They have all the data that you will need in order to calculate the information that we need. For instance, when we think about efficiency ratios, days sales outstanding, or inventory is even a better example. If you choose a company that's a service company, they don't have inventory. So if they don't have inventory, then you're going to have some issues with calculating this number since they don't have inventory. So you're going to repeat what you did for the very first example, except with one of those companies, or week two's problem, excuse me. You'll have 3 years of data. You'll have the vertical analysis, the horizontal analysis. Now what I want to show you is the thing that's different. And the thing that's different are the ratios that you're going to calculate. So again, there are 2 ways you can do this. Of course, you can calculate the ratio by hand and enter it. I would like you to use 3 decimal places if you would, please. But you're going to calculate the ratio here. Of course, if you do equals, and now we know the current ratio is total current assets. So if I go down here, I've entered just a few pieces of data. It's the current assets divided by current liabilities. And then just hit enter. So here's the number. I don't like that's too many 2 decimal places. If you remember, we did this maybe last time. Go up here. You can change the decimals, number of decimals. Again, let's just use 3 decimals, if you will. Now the other thing we can do, again, we want to do shortcuts. Let's do the other ratio, which is the quick ratio. Now I know the quick ratio is current assets minus inventory divided by, oops, let me go over here, divided by current liabilities. And we calculate that ratio. So here we have our ratios, and if you notice, that's the wrong format. We talked a little bit about this, not a lot of detail, but you can always change the format up here. You just want it to be a regular number, and again, we want it to be 3 digits. So here we have our numbers, and of course, if you remember to calculate, we can copy, highlight these, and then you can paste. So here are our ratios for this company. The company I'm doing here is Amazon. Here are their ratios. Now, I particularly like to look at pictures. They give me a little bit of a indication, if you will, of again, I'm a more visual kind of a person than a table kind of person. So maybe it might be nice to create a graph. So let's talk about how you could create a graph. If you highlight these rows, current ratio, quick ratio, here are the numbers. If you go up here where it says insert, I want to insert a graph. Put a graph. I like graphs with dots on them. And if you notice, a graph popped right up for us. So just click on that. That's the one we want, right? So we could put in here. Again, you can start making changes to this, right? Here's the chart, right? If you just highlight that, say we want liquidity ratios. Okay, maybe I want some more detail, right? If you notice down here, I don't have any years, so it's nice to put a time thing. This little funnel shape is called a filter. We can change anything that's on this form. So let's go down here. What I would like to do, and there's lots of ways to do this, I just like to use select data. And now here's the ratio, this is this data, this is where they store this information, and over here, this is the horizontal axis. So that is where it says 1, 2, 3 now, that's where you see that. If you just click on Edit, and then select the labels you want. I want these 3 numbers, right? So you just, again, you click on the Edit line, highlight the box that you want in there, and say OK, and you see it changes it. So there we are. So now we have, oops, I'm sorry, I just undid it. So let's go back and do that again. Select all, edit. Oops, sorry, get there, come on. This mouse is being a little funny with me today. And then say OK. I gotta say OK. So keep it. There you go. So there's the numbers. Maybe I want some more detail. There's a plus sign here. If you click on this sign, this has elements, right? So now we see it has the axes titles. If you wanted to add a title, you notice it just pops right up. If you want to change those, then it's available. Data labels. Sometimes this is nice. So you can actually see the number above the line. Data table enters a data table. You see how it popped right up there? Here's the data table. So now you have the table and the lines, which makes it a little bit easier. You can also take these oops, I'm sorry, I'm just going down. I'm going down the list here. The grid lines, again, you can either enter them. I like to have the lines. It makes it easier to see. Now here's legend. That's this thing right here that has the things. I kind of like it to be on the other side maybe. So if you get rid of it, right? Or if you click on the arrow here, you can put it to the right, right? You can put it on top. I don't know why you want it on. Maybe you want it on top. Put it on the left, right? Bottom. You can put it anywhere you want. That's where that legend line goes. So you typically try to put it to the right. But if you're going to do data table, right? If you're going to put the data table in, you don't need the legend because the legend's right here, right? You can also do trend lines, right? Hey, I'd like to see what's going on with current ratio. What direction are we moving in? And it's kind of hard to see because it's right on the line because those line numbers are pretty close together. Let's do this with, let's do it with the other one. Yeah, the trend line. And we're going to do it with quick ratio. I'll show you a little bit different, right? You say, here's the line. It says, hey, this is the direction we're going in. It's slightly up. That's a good idea, right? And the up-down bars, I'm not sure what that would do for us for this type of an analysis. But any of these things, obviously, you can check out and you can use this. I like the picture aspect of the graph. It helps me to describe what's going on. So again, once you have completed the ratios, down here, there are places for you to put your commentary. So I would like you down here, again, talk to me about this current ratio, right? Maybe just a couple of words. This is kind of a, if you will, maybe it's an executive summary, if you will, so that you can convert this now into a paper, right? So maybe just jot down a few notes, and then you're going to convert these notes into a paper. So again, that's how you can work on week 3's assignment. Now this is a group assignment, so hopefully you'll get together, come to some consensus, and try to help each other understand what you're seeing with these, the pictures, if you do graphs, and the commentary. So again, this is week 3's assignment.